What's up, guys? In this video I want to talk to you about the lesson that you can learn from veganism and people who practice the vegan diet. Okay, so it's probably not what you think. I'm not gonna 100% hate on vegans, even though I don't agree with the diet personally. Okay, so before we get into that, if you guys are interested in videos about health, fitness, fasting, and other non-mainstream, health advice, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I put out one video a day, 5-6 videos a week about that topic. Got a lot of experience and might be some stuff you haven't heard before. Cool, so what is the lesson that we can learn from vegans? Now, I was watching a video by Deranged, whatever, the Latvian guy, and he's got a lot of these videos about it's called vegans, the epitome of malnourishment, right? Now, I've met a couple of vegans, here and there. You meet people who are vegan and you don't really I never really looked too closely at their level of health. In fact, one of my training partners here, he's gone now, but my friend Kostas, he was vegan. And the guy was in really good shape. He was very lean. And he had incredible endurance. So I never really considered that maybe vegans are super unhealthy, right? But after watching his videos, I beg to differ, right? The whole vegan thing, I get it, I understand. It comes from moral reasons. The way animals are farmed, it's not good for the animals, right? They're kept in close spaces. They're, they don't have a good life before they die. They're there to produce products for us, and then they die. It's a horrible existence, right? Regardless of the health aspects. Okay, I think anybody would agree that the way animals are raised and farmed today, most of the time, is very bad, right? Nobody would want to trade places with them. It's not like they're living free and then they just get shot by some hunter and they've had their life and their opportunity. No. Now, that being said, I agree with that. Does that mean that I'm going to be a vegan? No, of course not, because it's not healthy, right? So that's kind of where the whole issue with veganism comes in, is that vegans, they've gone from saying it's bad for the animals and you should feel bad from an ethical standpoint, and that's why you should be vegan, to you can be just as healthy on a vegan diet as you can eating meat, which is obviously not true, right? It's hardcore cope from their perspective, trying to rationalize this choice that I believe is an honorable choice, it's an ethical choice, to withhold from eating animal products because they don't want to support those industries, which like I said, I understand. Now, what is the lesson? What is the lesson to be learned here? Well, if you watch these videos, right? I'll put some links in the description for these videos from Sverige. They're really entertaining, actually. It's these really malnourished, they just look, and they honestly, they look insane. These people literally look actually insane. And they're not only insane, they're malnourished, they're emaciated, and they just have this crazy happy look in their eye. It's kind of creepy. And I've seen stuff there's this one video, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but this guy's screaming at the camera. He's leave the animals the fuck alone. And he goes on this for 30 seconds and then his tooth falls out. It's when I saw that, my jaw hit the floor. I was oh my God. All right, so, and that's just one example. He's got videos, examples of people prematurely aging. This girl, Fully Raw Christina. Oh my God. I saw a video of hers when she was 25 and instantly fell in love. I was what do I have to do to get this girl? I'll cut off my arm, take all my money, take my credit card, just whatever you want, 25 years old, easily one of the hottest girls I've ever seen. I saw a video of her recently. She's still got that kind of earthy vibe, very, I think is attractive. But at 30, I think she's 32, 33, a couple years younger than me, she's looks like she's aged a little bit from the whole vegan thing. Now she's one of the better ones, right? But anyway, what's my point? What's the lesson to be learned here? the lesson is that once you have like fully committed, right? Let's say you have a YouTube channel and you're saying veganism is good. You've got all these videos that say veganism is good, and you've like tied your identity so closely to this concept that you are pushing to be true, despite the fact that maybe you're aging prematurely, despite the fact that maybe you're bloated all the time, despite the fact that you just in general are not healthy and don't feel good. You're so tied to this ideology that you're pushing that it gets increasingly harder for you to backtrack and all of a sudden come out and say, well, actually guys, I was wrong for those 8 years. All of you who like loved every piece of content that I put out, sorry, but I was wrong, right? It's very unlikely for people to do that. You do have some YouTubers who do that, like Vegetable Police, like love his videos, hilarious. He's one who did that, and there are a bunch of others as well. But the lesson here is that, you know, it's easy for us to look at these people and to think that we're better than them, that we're superior to them, that we're right and they're wrong, because the consequences of their life choices of eating only, you know, a vegan diet are so obvious, right? We see the signs physically. We can see that they're like not healthy looking. We can see that like they're emaciated and they have no muscle mass and they just like look awful. We can see that, right? But what you don't realize is that we all have, you know, beliefs like that we don't necessarily realize, right? We all have concepts and beliefs that we're tied to because we've spent several years of our life, you know, basically saying the same thing, saying like, I believe in this or I believe in that, and our identity is tied to that, and we've said that to so many people that it's hard for us to kind of backtrack and all of a sudden change what, you know, maybe some area of our life that's not good for us anymore, because doing that would all of a sudden mean to us that we're not allowed to be the type of person that we are today, right? So I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not sure if that really made sense, but the point is that like we all have beliefs like that, right? We all have areas of our life where, you know, we've said this one thing so many times that we believe to be true, but it's actually hurting us in certain ways. But we're so like doubled down, we're so invested in this belief because it's, you know, part of who we are, that like even though we might want to change it, we don't really consider changing it beyond just like a flash in our mind, because doing so would mean changing so many other things in our life that we're really not ready to change. Okay, now I'm not even talking about if you have a YouTube channel or if you have a business or if you have some sort of like online persona that you've committed to. This is even just like basic stuff like what kind of job you have or where you live or what relationship you're in or something like that. Okay, so it's not quite as fitness related, but I feel like there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from the fitness world. If you just apply them to other areas of your life, they transfer over quite well. All right, so long story short, you know, it's easy to like hate on vegans and to point at them and to laugh when ultimately at the end of the day, they're really just trying to do something ethical and rationalize this ethical thing that they're doing to everybody else, right? And because I think they get a lot of hate for it, you also see a lot of pushback from them. It like intensifies the pushback because they're trying to overcome that hate, which is the result of something that's like really obviously like not a healthy choice for any human being, right? So like I'm not saying, you know, people who are vegans shouldn't be allowed to raise their kids vegan or anything like that. That's like not healthy. I'm not down with that. But just like next time you see like some vegan who is really vehemently like saying like it's healthy, it's this, it's that, just understand that they're really just trying to cope with their own, you know, life choices and their health issues that they have by trying to convince other people to suffer with them, if that makes sense. Right, so just a little bit more understanding today on this beautiful Sunday in Thailand. I know it was not like your typical like health video, but I feel like there's, you know, definitely some lessons to be learned there. Cool. If you guys have any questions, leave me one in the comment section. If you liked the video, click like. Like I said, if you want to see more videos like this, I put them out all the time, so subscribe. Peace.